Bonjour, hello, welcome to another video, Max Mountain World. I'm down at the beach again, Friday afternoon, and yeah, go and set up the MOXON antenna. The propagation's starting to come in, which is how I like to catch it, get in there first as they start up. So what I'm going to do is get the MOXON antenna up, and rather than just saying I've got the MOXON antenna up or I'm getting it up, I'm going to do a video on exactly how I set it all up to get these fantastic results that I do with it. So here we go, setting up the MOXON antenna in the field, as it were, or at the beach or on the lake bed or whatever. So needless to say, down at the beach, the lake bed, and what I like to do is find a nice flat spot that's not going to have everything tilting over or needing adjusting, and I'll go into my GPS and get the vehicle parked up pointing north, which is more or less where the side of this mountain joins the one ahead of us here. The reasons for pointing north, threefold. One, gives an easy visible reference where the antenna is pointing at any one time, rather than having to use external stuff for reference. I've got it instant. The car is pointing north just now, or west, or one of the four main points of the compass. The other thing as well is, in the afternoons, the sun is actually behind the camera, but it's coming round, and it just keeps it all off the stuff that I've got in the front of the car, front right-hand drive in France, I know. And the other thing is, the predominant winds come from the west. Now, there's not much wind today, but there's enough for it to be irritating if it's coming in an open window. So let's go into the actual, that's how it's set up just now. Let's go into the boot and have a look. Shopping bag, doing a bit of shopping later, and everything's covered up. Battery is charging, everything goes back the same way every time, and it comes out the same way. What I like to do is get everything out, lay it out first, and that way I make sure I've got everything ready to go, and it's very quick to set it all up from there. First thing to come out, the drive-on base and the first section of mast. Second, the cross boom, which can sit to the side. Might as well chuck it down. Okay. Now, the actual wire, which I'll lay out in a minute, and just a little bit more than, oh god, it's all tangled up, 11 meters of coax ready to rock. Now, I have these reusable ties, which I'll explain in a bit. One tool needed for all this, 2 bolts, should have another tie somewhere, and that's my 3 blue ties. So all this lot is the mast and the actual fishing rods, which I keep in these reusable shopping bags, and they're all kept together with a bungee that I use to keep it all together in the car. I have a parasol if it's needed, if it gets too sunny, and this gets used to secure the mast to the first section. So we get the coax out. Perfect. And then we sort out the actual wire for the actual antenna itself. Wrapped up every time the same way. This is such a nightmare sometimes to get unraveled. It's a bit of a bollocks. I'll do that off cam. And I'll put some additional coverage in at one corner here with the Ray-Ban sunglasses cam, the Ray-Ban shades cam. A lot easier because I need both hands for some stuff, and I can get a proper look, exactly the first person view. First things first, let's get the base set up now. I want to find it somewhere where it's flat enough for it to not rock when I put the wheel on it. That seems pretty good. So let's get the car onto it. That's why I've got the protective foam, stop it hitting the car. Now I can just straighten that up a bit, find a locally grown stone. There we go. The mast, the top sections, the top three, I use as the mount for the cross boom. Now there's two holes here and a third hole there that hook up. I can just drop one of these bolts into it and it's ready to roll, like so. No need to tighten it, it just kind of tighten it sufficient to get the bolt in place. Once I've done that, none of the internal sections can fall out. I can take the cap off and it's ready to go. Take the bungee with me as well. It just basically drops in as I've set it up there, into there, and just not too tight, just enough to hold it in place so it still turns, and there we go, mast ready to go. Next is to get the cross boom in place. Again, just line up the holes and drop another bolt in. Keep it in place again, doesn't need to be tight. Probably better with a bit of flexibility in it, just a few turns, and she's ready to be loaded up. Off cam, as I said, I've got the cable laid out, ready to go, and what I'll do is I'll just pop the reflector on the back there so that it's ready to go round. Next, get these out, and they're all marked 1, 2, 3, 4. So, whoa, 3 to 3, 2 to 2, whoops. I'm not doing this too well, but do I ever? Okay. 1 to 1 and 4 to 4. There is a little bit of wind today, but not really enough to scare me. And from here, I can set up the cable. 4 goes on to 4. And what I do with these is just clip these right over the edge, like so. Number 1 to number 1. Again, clip it over the edge. Now I'll pull the first two out. It gets it started. Then I'll do the same with these ones, number 2 and number 2. Over the top, hook it on the end, and then the last one, number 3, over the top, hook it on, same as I did the first 2. Get the tension on this one, it's a bit tangled. There we go. Sometimes easier to shut the boot for this. We'll haul this out. And the last one, there's one that's going to MOXONify it. Put the tension on, ready to go, give it a boost up. And we're running. From here, I just check I've got my 5 to 10 degree uplift on the front of it. She's ready to go. Just got to hook up the cable now. Coax quite easy. I hook it onto here and run it up. That takes the cable weight away from pulling the antenna and keeps the antenna as square as possible. And we're tightened up. At this stage I'll now do a SWR check before I do anything else. Usually just run the cable in the back door, it keeps out the way when I'm jumping in and out, turning the antenna and stuff. Just chuck it through. And now down the floor here into the switch. Plug it in, and that switches the second position for the MOXON. The first one is on the mag mount, whatever I've got on it at any one time. Square that off and I can check the SWR. So quickly do that, fire the radio up, just go off frequency a bit. Now this should be about 1.7. It's actually doing well, it's about 1.3. So the next bit is to get all the sections up. Now, the first 3, as I say, hooked up together, run it up. Now all of these Jubilee clips are the same size nut on them. So all I need to do is 7mm nut with this, put it just above the joint, holding it in place with my finger and my palm, and do it up. That stops the section from collapsing into itself when the antenna is up. And on we go up, another one. Do the same again, undo it just a couple of turns, pop it above the joint, hold it in place with my finger and my palm, and do that up as well. Now every 2 sections I'll run a reusable clip onto here as well. Reusable cable tie. It's getting a bit worn in their days, but it keeps the cable straight as well. So just run the rest up the same. There is a little bit of wind from the west today, but I can deal with that. Just do the same process for all the sections, and with using the rest of the sections like this, I'll get it up to about 7.5 meters to the antenna, which puts it over a half wave above the car, which is quite critical for the directionality of the antenna. I don't know if directionality is an actual word, but I'm pretty sure it's meaningful in this use. So again, just doing them up. I've tried all sorts of different tools, you know, ratchet wrenches and stuff. This guy is the easiest one. And again, 2 sections and another reusable cable tie. Keep the coax in place. Up another section. Getting to the thick stuff now. And again, undo a couple of turns, take the Jubilee up, hold it in place, tighten it up, hopefully. Right, on to the very last one, which takes it up to full height. Now I'm not going to put this up at full, I'm going to drop it down a little bit so that it's not as tight as the other ones, and this is the one that's actually going to take the turning motion when I turn the antenna, although it's still stiff enough to avoid most winds from turning it involuntarily. And again, one more reusable cable tie. Keep a bit of extra for the turning, and the rest just at random chuck it under the car. 11 meters because it's a nice number for the 11-meter band, and also gives a bit extra if I'm putting it against a picnic table in the mountains or something. So that's all ready to be tested for SWR again. Right, it did occur to me that my first spar check I didn't switch over to the MOXON, so hopefully I'm okay. It normally, as I say, 1.7, so I should have really picked that up, but quick check, 1.7. That works fine. Normally it's a bit more, a bit less than that, but it depends. I've got it tuned for further down. With the wind coming from the west, just to make sure, as is ever the case with mountain weather, it's not what it's doing, it's what it's changing to. So that bottom section will stay, so quite easily hook up the bungee around the rail, and that keeps it in place. Okay, so that's the MOXON tests, apart from one little mistake, but it didn't really make a difference. Normally the SWR will go down to about 1.4, 1.7, down at 27.12-ish, it'll be not moving, it'll be on 1-to-1. So that's it. On the tail out, we'll see if I get anything with it. Thanks for watching. Okay, so Fox Tango 891 on GoPro display mount. Very adaptable, very useful. Setting it up and we're ready to rock right in front of me. So let's shut that down a little bit just now. That's the cam setup, my mini tripod bunged to the steering wheel. It kind of works. Just zoom in a bit. 2 Whiskey Tango 209 Ohio, very good day to you there, sir. I am 14 Delta Delta 007. My name is Max, Mike Alpha X-Ray, like Mad Max the movie. Back to you.
QSL, and the name here is John, and we're in the southeast part of Ohio, southeastern Ohio here, at a little town called Gloucester, Ohio. Ever?
Yeah, Roger. Okay there, John. Got you fine and strong there. I think you're about a 5 and 7. I'll look at my meter the next time. I was writing down notes. But yeah, got you nice and strong. Your audio coming through nice as well. As I say, operator, this side is Max. I'm in the mountains of the Alps in southeast France. Roger.
QSL. Well, you're doing a great job over there around the Alps. No problem at all. All right, we won't keep it. The band's just starting to open up a little bit over here to the east side of the state here. So we'll say 73s. Have a very good day. What's left of it? 2 Whiskey Tango 209 Ohio.
Yeah, okay there, John. Thank you very much for taking my call there, and we'll cross antennas again sometime, I'm pretty sure of it. Nice signal coming through here to the southeast of France to my portable station. 73s, 51s, you have a great day there. 2 Whiskey Tango 209. This is 14 Delta Delta 007, clearing on your final there. Cheers and beers, have a great day.
Alright, 73s over, have a good day, 73s.
Pilot. Okay, so all is well. It's first shout, and off we go there. Indeed, I did actually get a pile up. I had another 3 contacts at the end of that, but I'm not going to put that on video because I've got to limit the amount of time in each video, people get bored with it. Okay, so quick view check with the antenna, the camera stuff set up, the MOXON, and a beautiful day. The lake is unbelievably low. Away in the distance there is where it is. I'm a good 20 meters down drop to the mud flats here. You can see in the distance there where it's actually carved in by the river when the waters have been receding. And but yeah, altogether very, very high clouds, but a beautiful day here today, and absolutely no one else in my spot here. So that's it again. Thanks very much for watching.